Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to get the Type R running. Probably not driving because there's a lot of little things that we need to actually drive the car, suspension components, stuff like that. As you can see, our control arms and everything's a little floppy. There's some bushings that we ordered in and the Honda dealer is just taking their sweet ass time on setting them out. But we are definitely gonna get this thing running, hopefully, I should say, in today's video. And we need to get started off with this transmission. So yesterday, and by the way, before we get started, I wanted to give you guys a massive thank you for the crazy support on yesterday's Boston Apparel drop. By far the most wild and successful drop that we have ever had. Thank you guys. We need to get this fixed up. So the slider does not slide like it should. So let me figure out what's going on and I'll show you guys what I figure out. It should be I think I just found the problem. I think I just found the problem. You guys see this little ring? It's pretty messed up. I don't know if especially right there. I don't know if that's something I did or if it's already like that. I'm guessing it's a user error, but I may have a spare ring on this parts trans that we have over here. Thank goodness I keep all these parts because there's been quite a few times where I've needed something. Here's the reverse. Hopefully that ring's on there. I know the synchro itself is bad, but that ring may be good. All right, check this out. Trans is fixed. This little synchronizer ring is what it's called. Was snapped up and bent up in the slider. So let's run through the gears one last time to make sure we're actually good before we seal it up. So we got first, second, this is neutral, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Then you push the shifter all the way over for reverse. Clicks right into reverse. Doesn't go the opposite way because we don't have two reverses. A little bit embarrassing, I must say, that I've made this many mistakes on this transmission. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody makes mistakes. A lot of people just don't show it. I like to show everything. So hopefully it can show you guys that I'm still a human. Every time I make a mistake, I show you guys so you can hopefully learn from what I'm doing wrong and not make the same mistake. Trans is good to go. We gotta pop the cases again, seal it up, and we can get the motor and trans back in the car. Shop is a mess, I know. It is an absolute mess. Just playing. I know I got some of you. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, reverse. All right, baby. We are back to where we left off yesterday. Trans motor is back in the car and it shifts this time. So now it is time to make some serious progress on this thing and shoot for the first start. We are very close to a first start. I'm gonna go ahead and top off the trans real quick. So I went down to the AMS oil dealer here locally and picked up what everyone says they run in the Type R. This is the manual synchro mesh trans fluid, and I think it's a 530. So we're gonna run that in the Type R. Got 3/4 of that. I think it only takes 2.7. But basically, we're gonna pull this plug and put gear oil in it until it comes out that hole. That's how we know it's topped off. For the first start, I'm not gonna worry about anything on the front end, including the radiator. Of course, we're only gonna run it for a few seconds. I don't wanna assemble all that and then realize there's some other little mistake that we have to resolve. So let's add some gear oil, throw a couple other little parts on, maybe the intake, some intercooler piping and intercooler, and we should be good for a first start, which is so freaking exciting. Long time coming, long time in the making. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too.
Yeah, it's literally oil.
It's literally oil.
Well, motor, you know what I mean.
It's oil, bro. It's fucking oil.
I can't believe they put oil in the oil pump.
All right, she's back together, hopefully enough to fire it up. The only thing I'm concerned with is we do not have a good intercooler pipe. I'm hoping we can get the first start. This thing did fire up with both snapped intercooler pipes beforehand, so I'm hoping we can at least, all I want tonight is just to hear it run. We got a new battery in it, engine's full of oil, trans is full of oil, no radiator start. Let's see what happens. We do have the map sensor on, which is on the intercooler pipe. We have the MAF plugged in. We have all the little stuff and all the little sensors plugged in. So hypothetically speaking, it should fire up at least for a couple seconds. Come on. All right, it's cranking fine. Of course, all of the wiring for the entire front end I do not have on the car right now. I don't think we need any of it though. There's 3 main connectors that go into the fuse box. None of those are plugged in, but they were all destroyed before the car still started. So I'm gonna go ahead and scan the check engine light real quick and see what's going on. Car is giving us 4 different codes. 2 of them are for the turbo wastegate, which it's plugged in, it's replaced, should be good to go. One of them is a coolant temp sensor code, which I don't think that would cause it to not start. And then we have a UO122, which is a lost communications code. That seems a little bit more serious. I don't think this is gonna change anything, but just to be sure, I'm gonna take the whole front clip, set it on the car, just enough to put the wiring connectors back in, or plug them back into the fuse box. I don't think it's gonna change anything, but it's worth a shot. I do not wanna leave the shop until this thing fires up and I can hear it run. Then I'll be happy. One of the wiring connectors plugged in. The other one apparently is different. I don't know what year this clip came off of, but this one right here is supposed to plug in. It's right there, and it's not nearly wide enough. So I'm gonna have to find the proper harness for this clip. Let's try that again. I think the connector we plugged in is just for the fans, so that probably won't change anything. We are getting fuel. As you guys saw, we are not getting any sort of spark. I checked from multiple different grounding points on the car. The car is missing a lot of things, but I don't think it's missing anything that would cause it from not getting spark. I don't know if there's some sort of like crash sensor or something that tripped. Because if you guys remember, the car fired up when I first got it to the shop. It fired up and then it died, and then it would never start again after that. Oh, fuck! What? Fire this bitch up! There we go. It only ran for a few seconds. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like sensor or something else that tripped in the ECU maybe, to where it's not allowing the car to get any spark, so it won't start. As far as things that are missing, we're missing the intercooler. With the intercooler pipe, it would still like try to start. I feel like if that was the issue, that's not the issue. It is missing the airbag module. I don't think that is any sort of the issue. This wire connector right here, we cannot plug in, but that just is for everything on the front clip. We ran it without that plugged in before. That is not the issue. The whole engine harness is plugged in. All the grounds are on. It's gotta be something weird with these new cars. So if you have any suggestions, comment below. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna look at a ignition coil circuit or some sort of wiring diagram online to kind of try and help me guide through how many different modules that I have to check and go through to get this thing to run. I was hoping to get it running today. We are so damn close. At least the car's together, and then hopefully tomorrow we can just, with a fresh brain, dive in, diagnose, and repair whatever needs repairing on this thing, and we'll be good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's a shame we didn't get it started. I was really trying, really hoping we would, but it is what it is. It's a totaled car, especially something I've never worked on before. If this is an Evo, it'd be easy for me to just navigate through and pinpoint it, but it's a Honda. It should be easier for me, but being a 2021 makes it more difficult. So we'll figure it out. Of course, we always do, especially with your guys' help. We always get these things figured out. Goodbye, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow.